Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In my last video about Throne and Liberty, I got a comment saying that I didn't play the game much and also I can't judge it until I get to at least max level and experience some of the content. Which the guy's right, I agree to some point, so I kept grinding. I leveled up mostly off camera and now that I'm level 50 I decided to make this video again to see if my thoughts have changed. Spoiler alert, they haven't changed much. So in this video I will share what I like and what I don't like about Throne and Liberty, and in the end I'll let you know if I recommend it. Let's jump right in. First up we got the world. The world is stunning, with a lot of diverse zones, detailed environments. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like I mentioned in the previous video, Asian MMOs really know how to impress with their visuals. But here's the problem. While the cities are often full with players, they often feel lifeless. You will find folks just like standing around, and honestly, some of them, they seem like bots and not real players, which is a little bit concerning, but there's no way I can prove it, so let's just leave it like that. So a quick little update, I just logged in to add a little bit more footage while making this video, and I wanted to explore the cities a little bit, and when I logged in I saw that a lot of players are now gone. The players that you saw a week after the launch are not there anymore, and the game hasn't been out for a month yet, and every city feels like a ghost town. Honestly, I don't know what to think of that. I even went back to the starting zone where everyone starts from, and there's no one there anymore. One thing I want to mention about the world is that I like the fact that every time you teleport from end to an area, it's very seamless and it's very cool. I love the animation on it. When it comes to morphs, some people hate them, some people like them. Honestly, I don't mind it. It's a unique addition to the game. I think it's more convenient than having a mount. Now let's talk about the gameplay. I did encounter a fair share of bugs and glitches. Overall, the combat feels a bit clunky. I tried both melee and ranged, and honestly, ranged was way more enjoyable for me. I leveled up a mage using the staff for damage and the one for healing, and trust me, that healing is going to be very helpful for solo leveling. But there are a few options in the settings that you can turn on to make the experience a little bit better. I'll show you right now. So you go into the settings, under controls, toggle basic attack, toggle charged skills, and toggle aimed skills. And also I would recommend going to target, scrolling down and then enabling auto target nearest enemy when attacking without a target. Give those a go and let me know how they feel. For me personally, with those skills activated, they made my combat experience a bit better. Next up, let's discuss the gear. There's a lack of variety in armor and weapons, which is disappointing given that the game has been in development since 2011. You would think by max level you would at least look somewhat cool, but no. You often end up looking like a peasant or worse, like you just rolled out of bed in your pajamas. And also one more thing, I went to the shop and I bought dyes to dye my gear, and I thought that it's gonna dye the gear that I already have. But no, it doesn't work like that. The dye only works on the outfits that you buy from the shop. So don't make the same mistake I did. I had to buy the currency with real money. Now, when it comes to crafting a gear, this is a completely different story. In order to craft your gear, obviously you would need materials and something called lithographs. You get these lithographs from either dungeons, contracts, or enemy drops. Now, there's a small problem. When it comes to crafting your rare gear, you won't be able to, because the developers forgot to add rare lithographs in the game. And no, I'm not kidding. So if you want your rare and epic gear, you need to either hope that your item drops from the chest in your dungeon runs, or you can make it from your lithograph book. I know some people are confused how the book works, so was I at the start. So let me show you really quick how this works. Let's say you want to make this blue rare cloak. Well, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is buy or craft the 4 green cloaks that are shown over here. You register them in the book, and there you go. You'll be able to collect the blue cloak as a reward. But be careful, because once you register your gear in the lithograph book, it will be destroyed. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And one thing I want to mention that I love about the gear progression is that when you get new gear, your old one that's enchanted doesn't go to waste. Once you get your new piece of gear, you go in transfer, and you can transfer your enchanting from your old gear to your new one. I think this is a really cool system that I love to see in other MMOs. It just makes you feel good that all of these materials and all the time that you spent collecting them and enchanting your gear doesn't go to waste. Now we move on to the dungeons. The only thing that I really dislike is the limited runs per day. You can only do a few dungeon runs per day, and then you're locked. You cannot get the rewards anymore until the next day. When it comes to the level 20 dungeon, it's pretty simple and pretty easy. But the level 30 dungeon, well, that's where it gets tough. I can't tell you how many times we wiped, people left, and then new people joined, and so on and so on. And I don't get why people had so many issues with the level 30 dungeon boss, because it's a pretty simple run. Whenever the boss goes in the middle and does the AoE attack on everyone, you have to use your hook to pull the levers. The boss will get stunned, and you can do some damage. The one thing that's annoying about this boss is that he locks you in place and he shoots 3 fireballs, which do a lot of damage. Sometimes you can get one shot with those fireballs. So either your tank or someone else needs to tank those fireballs. There's just no way to dodge them. Now the level 40 and the level 50 dungeons, however, I never had that issue before. But overall the dungeons are not that extremely challenging. What I think is challenging is the secret dungeons. I think personally for me, secret dungeons are my favorite. And sometimes you gotta think of clever ways and you gotta use your skills right, because otherwise you will die pretty quickly. You cannot just go blindly forward attacking and expecting to win all the time. You can do like the first 5 floors, just attack the boss and you can win. But after that, it gets pretty challenging. So be careful of that and use your skills wisely. As for the main story quest, it's pretty short. It's about 8 to 10 hours, but it gives you a ton of experience and it's the fastest way to get to max level. One thing cool about the main story quest is that there are a few puzzles thrown in it, which is a nice touch. Now, of course, there's gonna be a few other minor things that I don't like the fact that you cannot mail or trade with other people. There's no battleground PvP. The auction house uses the currency that you buy with real money and not your in-game currency. And if you ask me, is the game pay to win? Well, I would say yeah. At this point, it is pay to win. The fact that you can buy your gear, materials, and get perks from the shop is just killing the game for me. I'm willing to overlook the fact that the combat is clunky, but making the game pay to win is on a whole new level. In conclusion, will I keep playing the game now that I'm level 50? Well, probably, but I think I will lose interest after a few dungeon runs. Because once you get to level 50, it's just a mindless grind until you max out your gear and there's nothing else to do because there's no new content at the moment. And after the honeymoon phase, a lot of people will probably forget about it. Now, would I recommend playing the game? Well, at this state, no. But who am I to try and stop you from playing? You like what you see and you want to experience the game yourself? Well, I would say go for it. It's free to play, though I hope this video will give you some insight and maybe will help you understand the game a little bit better. Like always, I appreciate you guys watching the videos, supporting the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.